Hey guys, do you like my new pin? My dad got it for Christmas for me. Yeah, he also got Camp Jupiter t-shirts, but they came in youth sizes, so we're gonna have to fix that one. Hey, it's Kate. Welcome back to my booktube. And it's time to talk about episode 4 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I'm very happy with this episode, but I'm also very intrigued by the choices made. And so I'm going to go through those a little bit. So, not a lot happened in this episode. We basically just got the train ride and the arc incident. The arch incident. This is not Noah. So, they added a lot to the train ride and connected that more succinctly to the arch. They didn't just get off the train where everything worked out fine and then think, what's a smart idea? Let's go on top of a really dangerously high monument and see what happens and then get attacked really high up in the air. Now, to be fair, I think that the way it's done in the book is hilarious, and I wouldn't have minded if it was just Annabeth nerding out about being an architect and then getting them into danger. But this worked too. I thought it was cute that they turned the arch into an Athena temple, but that just felt like a quick fix so that they would have an excuse to go there even after changing everything around. But to be honest, I think the only way to really look at this episode is to think, why did they make the changes they did, right? Because there were a lot of changes. There wasn't a lot that was the same. Like, it wasn't, like, completely different. They, went to the arch, and then a hole was made, and then he fell through the hole, and then in the river with the water nymph. But, like, outside of the, like, main points, it was very different from the book, right? This is one of the things that's making me really happy. I decided to reread the book while watching it, like chapters coinciding with the episode, because I'm really noticing the changes and I think understanding why they're being made. So I think what's going on here is this episode just wants to make it really clear what it's focusing on. I think that might be something that's going through all the episodes, where the episodes are focused on what is the lesson that we're trying to teach Percy and the other characters. Instead of, well, we did this and we did that, and he might learn a little of this here, he might learn a little of this there, and it'll all work out in the end. Or like the episodes feel like they're much more focused on the theme than like the chapters were, because I feel like we'd get a little bit of this lesson in one spot and then it would show up somewhere else too. But yeah, so it felt like we were really focusing on Percy and his relationship with his father and how he needs to learn to trust his father and believe in him even though he has no reason to. And it's interesting because I really understand Percy here. And I think they're doing a really good job of making him understandable and where he's coming from. And why everybody around him seems so strange. Annabeth just believing in her mom, even though she barely ever talks to her. And in this episode, betrays her just because she felt slightly slighted. But it was just really interesting to put so much focus on Percy's need to believe in his father and believe and like trust that he cares about him, while like throwing evidence that they don't. Who sent Echidna, right? Zeus did. Who allowed her into the temple? Athena did. And like, I think that Percy just sees untrustworthy gods in every direction. And then he's told he needs to trust his father, who has never been there for him. Why would he? I will say that I wanted him to choose to jump into the river a little bit more. Like, her creating the hole felt a little weird. I really preferred it when the monster, the chimera, easily confused with a chihuahua, made the hole, and he chose to jump through it on the off chance that his father would save him, as like this moment where trusting his father was a better option than not, and that he had to put a little faith in his father because of the circumstances. I would have liked if he jumped in. Now, at the same time, I did like when he was underwater and he was told that he had to trust it and he had to breathe deeply or he wasn't going to be able to get out of the situation. And by trusting that he would be able to breathe because of his father's powers, he was able to like calm down underwater. And so that worked, like it evened it out. I'm not going to say that I wouldn't have still liked him to make the choice up higher where it was like life or death, but at the same time, it did feel nice that we got to reuse those words from his mom. I like that through line. So that was cool. But yeah, it really felt like they had to change a lot of the story to give it this like thematic through line. And while I think it worked, it did definitely feel like you could notice the finagling of everything. Like this got changed, the arch got changed to a actual temple, not just a beautiful monument made by a child of Athena, but in a literal temple, right? That they could be safe at. And then we had to throw in the Athena getting mad about the Medusa head. So there was a reason why that didn't work. And all of that. I was really happy, though, that they were able to add some things in that they missed earlier. Like, we got to add Pan, though we didn't say that Grover wanted to be a protector yet. We did explain what a protector was and show just how hurt Grover gets thinking about animals being hurt. So I was really happy there. I also loved when he got angry because they woke him up. That was so funny. And I liked how they made the train ride more dangerous because it felt weird how easy that was in the books, especially when the rest of the trip is so hard that like the train ride of all things goes fine. And overall, I think that the changes worked. Nothing in this episode was as frustrating as the 2 minutes in the rain during the Minotaur fight where they just talked. There was not a problem that I had in like this. I mean, like that in this. I like that they tried to trick us into thinking that Annabeth was gonna fight the Chimera, and they showed how strong and willing she was to do that, even though we all of us who've read the books knew that wasn't going to happen. It would have been such a dramatic detour from the books that I could just tell that wouldn't happen. Like, how is he supposed to plunge to his death? And, finish the prophecy of the episode title if Annabeth fights the Chimera. I mean, it would have been cool for them to fight it together, but I think it misses the point of him being there alone. with no one to save him, that he has to make choices for himself, and he has to realize that he has no options except falling. Which, again, would have been more clear if he chose to jump himself. But still, it wouldn't work the same if he had help in that scene. And I think that there has to be scenes where Percy doesn't have help. This is one. If they put in the scene with the waterbeds, that will be one. And I really hope they do that. I beg that they do the waterbed scene. It's my favorite chapter in all the books, guys. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think the episode is really good. And I think that they managed to make everything work out and keep the themes and the story overall. And I think that's what's really important, is that the themes stay the same and the characters feel the same. Because, they can change things. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but it needs to feel like it's the same. And it does feel the same. So I'm very happy about that. The only other things I have to say are about the little snippets for the next episode, and I'm so excited that they're putting the Fates back in, because they are so creepy, and I was so sad that they weren't in the earlier part of the show, and I'm so happy that they weren't removed, they were just moved over slightly. It's gonna be so great! Oh my gosh! I know it's gonna be like 2 seconds, and it'll be over, but I'm so excited. And then Ares looks great. My dad got so excited when he saw Ares because he loves wrestling. And I'm like, yeah, that's Ares. And then, of course, the Tunnel of Love is gonna be interesting. I'm so excited. So, yeah. Not a lot to say about this episode, besides the fact that I think it is overall a good adaptation. I really hope that we get the waterbed scene again, because I really want to see Percy being first to have to make choices on his own, which he didn't really have as much time to do in this scene. And I hope that they really delve into his relationship with his father more, and don't just have him immediately trust him now. I want there to still be some awkwardness, because it would be unrealistic for him to immediately figure this out with his father. I don't mind if they don't do the 3 pearls in the water at Montauk Beach. That's okay if they, remove that plot, as long as they do figure out a way that makes sense for them to get out of the underworld, because I just think that I think they'll be able to figure it out. And I do think that the pearls are a bit of I forgot what the exact word is, but they're there just for the plot. And I don't think that they're needed. They're just, they're just pearls. You can replace them with something else easily. Plus, they make me think of the movies a little bit too much. Now, are these Poseidon's pearls and not Persephone's? Yes. But the pearls from the movie haunt me. So, it's okay if we figure something else out. It's okay. The musical used a conch shell. So, that's an option. We could, show some love to the musical. But that's about it. I'm super excited to watch this show. And hopefully I'll be able to finish that project I've been hinting at. I haven't had a lot of luck so far, but hopefully figure it out. But that's it. So can't wait for us to watch the next episode, and I will see you later.